people involved.
Yes, so
How shitty they are.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking shitty.
But I mean, they're shitty all over on both sides. Same.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, the debt ceiling really doesn't mean anything because it's already paid, really. So they're pushing it forward in order to spend more. Because all the stuff that's
the money's already spent.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But they're opening it up for more to pay. They're actually just paying for those programs, basically, from my understanding, and they're bringing up new stuff.
Yeah, dude. But my issue with the whole them trying to be like, well, because they look good when they talk about it. Well, we need to cut back spending. We're overspending.
They're hypocrites.
We're not overspending. It's just they're cutting out revenue. So how are we overspending?
Accommodations to that spending.
You know what I mean? No, because when Trump was in office, he did the biggest tax cuts for the 1%.
So big.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be huge.
And so basically what you're doing is you're cutting out the income. And then you're saying, well, we're spending too much. No, we're not. We're just not making enough money because you're fucking keeping the money out. That's the difference.
Yeah, it's going to come right back to you.
Because what were the tax rates back in the 40s, 50s, 60s,
I've heard
70s, I heard it was like 30 or 40%.
No, it was higher.
Was it?
I've read very little. No. It was a long time ago.
You got a soul.
Like we can't make this only based on speculation.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what.
No, he's like, I read very little. I know, I can tell.
No, back in the day, I'd be more informed of it. What I'm saying is I've lost that up to date kind of shit. If anything, I've read an article.
Because I think Reagan was the first one that started cutting the taxes for the richest. That's when the whole supply side trickle down economics started. The theory.
Yeah.
Was with what's his name? Who was the guy?
Spencer.
No, fucking. Who's the secretary of? Everybody keeps bringing him up too. He always comes.
Alexander Haig.
Oh, fucking.
The guy that talks very fucking.
I can't remember.
Compton from the Reagan. You like Reagan?
He's worked with a lot of different.
Yeah, I did like Reagan.
The guy that was his.
Dude, Phil Hartman's Reagan was really funny.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember Phil Hartman's Reagan.
He played him as kind of like a dotage old fucking dude, and then like as soon as the fucking cameras were away, he'd fucking like, all right, guys, let's get in this. I'm willing to spend the next 40 hours working on this, and he's got maps, and he's fucking like outworking the fucking like kids and shit, and fucking like he's all, it's fucking so and so in this time, and fucking like I'm gonna call these guys. He's been doing like he's working all sorts, and then it's like, oh, Mr. President, we have a photo op with some fucking everybody get in the closet, get in the closet. They all get in the closet. He fucking gets hi little girl, fucking. Oh, you outsold everyone in your cookies.
Your Boy Scout, your
Well.
The Clinton, everybody did a really good Clinton, really. Hammond, what's his name? Daryl Hammond. Yeah,
did he try to do one?
He did. He was the one that did mostly Clinton.
Daryl Hammond.
Oh yeah.
Daryl Hammond.
No, you're right, but I didn't. He was one of the guys that kind of like hung on long. You know what I mean? There's always one in each generation, if you want, of the SNL.
The hung long guys.
Yeah, the low too.
Yeah, long hung.
Long.
Yeah, well, you guys do not want to look up.
But one guy like
tax rates.
I don't remember Daryl.
Well, that is interesting.
Yes, well, that is disgusting.
That guy. He's been in all sorts of movies.
Tim Neville.
Yeah,
so
Meadows.
Not Tim Neville.
It was
Meadows. Yeah.
I think that guy, the Key and Peele show that he's on, that he's been on SNL for a while.
From Key and Peele?
Yeah.
They were on fucking SNL? Because I know there was that other kid.
That was the people who sold burgers. And
no, that's not Key and Peele. That was fucking.
Oh, that's the show on Comedy Central. Oh God, that's bad.
But he has a similar name. It's like Kel or something like that.
Keenan and Kel?
Keenan and Kel. It's Keenan.
Okay.
You're thinking of I
guess he's hung out for a couple of casts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be the top rate was 70%, and Reagan dropped it to 50%.
Yeah, it used to be like 90. It used to be like 90.
That's where it started. And so what they've done, especially now when you hear them, and you hear all these people saying the same shit, like, well, it's because we're spending too much, we're not bringing in money. Bullshit, the money's there. The money's there. It's just what they did is they cut to the richest people, they give them a huge tax break. So now the money's not coming in. They're making a shitload of money and there's just being taxed on it. And that's where the money comes. That's why everybody's like, well, we're spending more than we're receiving. Yeah, because you keep fucking cutting.
We're really not. We're receiving a lot. A lot of those fucking overpaid bills, fuck.
Oh, you're talking about.
I would call those countries and be like, hey, you know what, China? I know you owe like 10% of our debt or whatever, and we're gonna default on that. Fuck yourself. Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Come see what we can do.
Yeah.
But it's the credit rating.
You can start selling your products to your own fucking people, I guess, because if you have a problem with that shit, we'll just fucking embargo your ass. I don't give a fuck. But,
they tried that.
I don't know.
Trump tried that.
Yeah.
For a little bit, he tried to put an embargo on Chinese stuff.
That's why he was such a good president.
Because he tried.
But all he told him is, I made you guys richer than... And he did.
He did. He made the richer people richer, yeah.
I mean, my whole hang up with that is basically, I don't understand why... Well, it's more of like the standard of living. It used to be a couple generations back where you could have one of the parents working. You'd probably be able to have a home and perhaps a car or two even. Mm-hmm. A standard of living, you'd be able to do that. I'm not a great job, but
when you could buy a home on about 1 year's salary.
Okay.
Like that's an entirely different fucking thing than now, where it's like, you could buy a home on like maybe a 10-year salary, maybe if all of those
depending
10 years
on what
you
you
get.
get. That's what I'm trying to say.
Like you're getting $50,000, as a fucking regular dude doing a fucking whatever job.
But what I'm trying to say. Well, see, they take in the whole country, so it's somewhere about like 50 to 60.
Well, it's an average median pay, but I'm not sure what that is. I don't think it's 50,000.
I don't know country, I think it is something like that, because they take the whole country in, and you're taking in metropolises and other.
Yeah.
So
you got countries like Missouri, Mississippi. Here,
those countries.
You got like California. The countries like California,
Texas.
California could be a country.
It should be.
Fucking, what is it? The largest economy now, fifth.
I've heard it's gone up. I used to think it was 7th.
I keep hearing 5th. I've always heard that. I haven't looked. I
heard 7th, but I think we moved it to 5th.
5th.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
And seriously, if we break away, secede from the United States,
it would break.
Washington and like Oregon would come right.
No, bro.
The median income is $31,000.
No, was off by like half.
Wow.
Median.
Yeah, I was off by half.
31,000.
Median is
it's the middle. It's not average.
No, from all the ones
it's in
that
the middle.
Takes into,
it's the you line up everyone, rank them all, and you take the middle fucking value.
Okay.
So like the crazy rich ones aren't going to throw it like on the mean. If you have someone who's getting trillions of dollars, it throws the mean up in one direction. Yeah. And so like the people that are getting 0 throw it in the other direction.
So
now that
the
makes
median
sense.
is right in the middle.
Now that makes sense because I'm looking
31,000.
Dude, how can you buy a home on that? How can you?
You just have to save up all of your money for 10 years straight, and then you can
not pay any of the bills you owe.
You can't. You probably won't be able to buy the home, but you'll be able to pretty good start on it.
Dude, 31,000. Mm-hmm. That's less than $3,000 a month.
Yes.
Yeah. It's they're not taxing the correct people, and they're not taxing them at the rate they should be taxed. That money's coming right back to you. But from also heard, and like I said, I don't know much about it, but it's mainly in like stocks and bonds, so they can't really tax the money or something like that.
They wrote into the laws to make it easier for them to keep the money and not lose it.
Something like capital gains.
I suppose I'm not sure in the terms.
He was talking about you'd need uprisings where we can kill these people.
When your back's against the wall. When your back's against the wall.
They'll be the first ones up against the wall in the uprising. It's pretty much. I'm pretty sure you were paraphrasing, right? You were paraphrasing.
Pretty much. The revolution shall be in. Let's say.
Mm-hmm.
It's even. I've even gotten like, why do you put the Dow or whatever, or average or whatever is the Dow number on regular news? Do the regular citizen of this country or citizenry of this country actually have stocks and savings to where they can do?
It's coming up. A lot of people are now kind of tinkering with it.
People here.
Well, wouldn't you say that all about maybe it's perhaps all that Bitcoin
there's
shit?
There's 3 of us that you guys own any stock.
No. Well, wait.
I don't know. I'm like, to me, I'm reminded of Fat Mike from NoFX. And one of the songs he said that stocks and bonds are more for fun. it's because it's like an S&M sort of thing. So sure, stocks
They've
are fine.
I've read
Stocks,
I've read
sure.
a study or two that says
no, you don't get it. Stocks like bondage,
yeah,
and stocks
Yeah.
and all that shit.
Stocks,
Fucking come on, goddamn man.
Yes.
It's a pun, goddammit.
You see what I did there?
No, I didn't do it. Fucking Fat Mike did
No,
it.
I'm
But
saying,
like
he's
shit.
saying.
Ended up where people think supply side economics is what runs everything. Every time I get people at work, they're like, "Well, yeah, what do you mean?
Because they're
What do you
making
think? You think it's going up or you think it's going down?" I go, "It all depends." What do you mean? I go, "Yeah, the people that are trying to make a buck by downturning the economy, buying when it's low, are the ones pushing the economy down. They're the ones holding the money. They're like, let's wait to see if it drops, and if it drops, we'll just get more." That's what happened during the pandemic when everything was going to hell.
Yeah, and they didn't raise wages in any real sense. They might have done a couple of kickbacks.
I made a lot less during the pandemic.
I didn't make anything. Oh no,
I wasn't
made
working.
something.
I was just doing the school thing. And
I think I worked through half of it, but that's working.
Yeah. I didn't work through any of the pandemic, buddy. I hate to say it, but I didn't. I couldn't.
Couldn't do it online?
No. How do you do it online?
I don't know.
You can do
I don't know what the fuck you do.
Do you think I care about you at all to know what you do for a living?
I know you work for a car thing.
Yeah, it's a car thing. But a lot of people died, and some of the people I knew, a couple of people that passed. And,
I knew at least one.
Yeah, it sucks. And,
Yeah.
But the whole thing is they wait till it drops. Because it benefits them. Just like the banks that were going to crash, who was it? It's JP Morgan Chase, bought them out.
Well, look, that's what I don't. That's my main
because they were about to drown.
And then on anything that people owed to those, they now owe to fucking so-and-so. And yeah, it's profitable. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
If I could have done it, I would have bought them.
You know what I mean?
Next time, like shit.
So it's profiteering at its worst. It's capitalism at its worst.
It's fucking uber capitalism.
Yeah.
Capitalism is not that bad of a thing, but when it's unregulated, to be left open to like even destroying kind of, they call it certain things like we just throw away waste from industry onto rivers that we really need to keep clean or something like that. We need
we're not regulating.
Yes, exactly. Capitalism is not a bad thing. Socialistic, commie as I may be.
Responsible capitalism.
Yes. You don't let the industry run amok. It seems like, to me, there's a lot of monopolization nowadays.
Because if you look at shit that's being bagged, whenever they ship anything, nobody's charging for that. They're not responsible for all the shit they use for packing. That's all plastic. That's all shit that gets thrown away. You know what I mean?
I mean, you might throw it away. I don't. I have giant bags full of it in my house.
He uses the containers.
I'm waiting for it to biodegrade.
That's
enough
gonna
where
be,
I can,
Yeah, because you're gonna find something that leaves the plastic.
My room becomes a super fun fucking project like in the future. Because I just keep all the fucking bullshit.
But until and that's what a lot of people don't get. Because the way I see it, especially because I work in an industry that depends on custom. If nobody comes in.
It's not every industry.
Yeah, that's pretty much every industry.
Yeah, exactly. But people forget that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, people are like,
No, people still set in the fucking mind that at a fucking Taco Bell, that should be your summer job. You should be able to live off of that.
I think it should be I think it should be a solid high school job. I think if I was fucking running Taco Bell, I'd be like, by the time you get 22, you're gonna either be promoted up to fucking high management, or you're gonna be kicking the fucking rocks and fucking get the hell. Just because it's like Paperboy, it should be for kids but it's kids. Not. When was the last time we saw a Paperboy around here that wasn't driving a car?
What I'm saying is that's become the jobs for people who are regular. Yeah. Well, not. I mean, most of the people.
That's the thing is there are jobs that should be just like. You know what? Fuck it. This is a starter job. Then you're gonna move on.
But you can't. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but that's the
college used to be free in California up until maybe not totally free. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
But up until the late 70s, early 80s.
College is always free, bro.
Yeah,
free minds. It's free, and if you could walk into the library and not be charged, That's free education right there.
Look, the mentality.
Read a book.
Read a book.
Get a job, sir. Read a book, sir.
What I'm trying to say is the
Do you want-
mentality of this fucking thing. You made me forget.
To bring it back.
Yeah.
If you want to borrow a book, I'll lend you a book. I could be your library boy.
No, you're right. There's no way to move up. We're talking about how jobs are stagnant. You're talking about the Taco Bell. That's what you were going for. He was talking about how they should be starter jobs, but you're saying that people, that's where they at. That's where, that's all there is.
Well, because it's impossible to.
Oh no! What I was gonna say is, and perhaps the generation right before us, or the boomers or whatever, then they thought, well, I made it, and to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I did it. Why can't you fuckers?
They're idiots. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't you fuckers?
They're like, everything's exactly the same as it was in 1950, isn't it?
But that's pretty much the mentality that you fall into,
Yeah.
depending on your economic level too. There's rich people who think everybody, I'm the normal, I'm the standard. Why is everybody bitching about they don't get paid enough or they don't have a house because they're not working hard enough?
Well,
It's like the whole pull up yourself from the bootstraps. People think that's a positive thing. You're a hard worker. You're fucking going nowhere if you're trying to do that.
To be fair, a lot of idioms are not, they sound positive, but they're pretty shitty. God fucking closes the door, but he opens a window. You know what? A window is a shitty fucking representation of, in comparison, I'd rather walk through a door
because he wants you to
than
work
go through
for
a
it.
window.
He wants you to look for
But
it.
also, you could just reopen the fucking door. If someone closes the door, just open the fucking door again. They have handles. It's a door.
There's no combination on this.
Okay, you close the door.
Did you lock it, bitch?
I'll just open the door.
Did you fucking lock it?
Hey, God didn't lock it. God didn't lock the door. I'm going out.
I hear it quick.
I'm out of here, bro.
So, I mean,
No, there is. I like with you guys. I always threw the, what is it? Irregular? No, I always used to throw it out and then fuck it. Irregular? No. I used to say it all the time.
Irregardless.
Irregardless. And I mean, I used it forever, and I think both of you guys would correct me years back.
Because it doesn't technically make sense.
No.
But the fact that people use it enough,
I would use. No.
But if people use it enough to where people understand it, then it becomes a word.
To me, it was.
Yeah. Because people always, every year you hear fucking some stupid news story where selfie is in the Oxford English Dictionary. Yeah, that's what the fucking Oxford English Dictionary does. It takes slang words
defines
from the 1300s to now. It fucking just keeps track of what things mean. So it's not these are official words. These fucking kids out here are fucking ruining our dictionaries, throwing in these dumbass terms. No, they're just fucking. They're just
the dumbass terms in your time have
they're
become
just terms
common.
where you could now look it up and go, oh, it meant this. Or so-and-so said it as this.
Well, if they don't realize also.
Yeah, it's a guide. It fucking just, it says, hey, if, like most of the words in there are just you'll read it and you're like, that's not a word that anyone used. And it'll say it was only cited in one reference.
Or used to
from,
be used
from
in
15-something by so-and-so. He meant this. And it's just okay.
Dude, that just reminds me of your reading of fucking Tolkien then.
He does that shit.
That's what it reminds me of. That so-and-so said this. That's what was the word of the week that you said last
It was Sennite.
Sennite.
Senne night.
Which means 7
You're also talking about
it's 7 days. Yeah,
Or
it's 7 nights. It's a fucking week. That's what it means. But it's But
you know when they use fortnight, that's right.
Yeah, it's similar.
That's what 14 days.
Yeah, it's 14 days. And I think sin is just it's just another way of writing 7 because back in the days, people were idiots about that. They didn't know how to spell things back in the day.
They didn't know how to spell American.
When people talk about going back to the future, back to the past. They're like, yeah, I'd go to England and we speak English. I go, that's not. Nobody would really understand each other.
You wouldn't understand shit. They wouldn't understand shit.
They'd probably just kill you. Probably think you're
a witch.
Yeah.
That or you get fucking Black Plague shit.
Yeah. That's true. Most of the shit you're bringing back, they're not. Yeah, they're not immune or resistant in any way. So yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So Words.
Words
Words are fun.
Yeah, but we're talking about fucking.
But fucking.
Yeah. No.
Man,
That's the thing. Everybody gets like.
But
I'll see people talk about like, well, you know, I have all this and I have all that to sell, and nobody. We're gonna keep our prices. It's like, dude, if nobody buys your yeah.
The main argument that they fucking use is like they're just gonna raise prices and this and that, and it seems very like, oh well, yeah, no shit. People buy into that like anything, but it doesn't. Basically, prices have still gone up while wages haven't.
Well, that's what they're trying to do.
Hey, I got a 50-cent raise recently. About a year ago.
It wasn't a raise. The minimum wage went up, Carl.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one time I was getting paid slightly above minimum wage, right? I was getting paid $1 more. And then at my work, they raised their fucking their fucking thing. They raised their minimum wage so that the newer fucking employees were getting the same as me. But they didn't raise my fucking pay. So I was like,
happened to me.
What the fuck? I was,
I've been here.
It's kind of dick move.
Yeah.
Like.
Not get paid as much as newbie Johnson over here.
Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason I quit too, because what I was getting paid, the people that were barely coming in, I'd been working for this company like 12 freaking years, right? They were getting paid $1 less than I was. Mm. And I'd been there 12 goddamn years.
Yeah.
And I'd gone to jobs where nobody else would have. So, hey, we're sending you over there. Yeah. Fuck it, I'll see the country. But that's when I told my supervisor, look, you give me a raise or I'm gone. He's all like, whoa, I can't. All right, 2 weeks.
Peace out.
2 weeks.
Well, dude.
Don't get me, I regret it to some point because I'm not making any fucking money right now. But
yeah, dude, but you have to remember that, like, the U.S. economy just added 313,000 jobs.
And they're still paying you crap and they're expecting more.
No. Yeah, but the thing is what they're trying to do is they're trying to slow down growth to control inflation. Because right now that's the big issue everybody's having is inflation. Your money is just not getting there enough.
Yeah, we're gonna show up in wheelbarrows of.
To burn it to keep us warm, like they did in fucking Germany.
Yeah, World War One.
Stuff it into the walls for insulation during the winter.
Hey, we can eat hay. Use the money.
Yeah, and so what people forget is that. Yeah, you can raise gas prices and people are going to pay because you have to.
Yep.
But there's going to be a certain point where you can't. Yeah. And then what? Then it has to come back down because they went up really high. What were they? Almost $6.
I paid coming back from Fresno one time. I was I think $7. It was fucking pretty shitty. That sucked. Fortunately, it wasn't my money, so I was fine to fill my tank.
Yeah, so when he had
that was on Derek's bill.
Yeah, but geez,
that must have not been nice.
I felt a little bad, but like the options were nothing.
Yeah,
I was in the middle of nowhere. I was like like somewhere between Barstow and fucking Palm Springs, and I was just like, I need gas.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna fucking not get gas.
But that's like one of the only things. Like gas and food is probably the only things that can really hold up.
Look, you know what would make a lot of money? You know what would make a lot of money? Putting it back to infrastructure. Our goddamn power lines or goddamn fucking dams or roads, they need upgrading. Like most of the bridges in the
Madison County.
No, and most of the highway system, or freeway system, whatever you want to call it,
they're all sub.
Yes, and
but you know why they won't do it, right? Because they want to
crazy expensive.
They want to give
You're giving out jobs.
No.
Yeah, no. You are giving out jobs, and you're paying more than the job is worth, because that's the way construction is.
Yeah.
If you work construction, you're fucking milking your pay every fucking time.
Yeah. So you're going.
You're padding hours. You're fucking. No. You're fucking. People are stealing fucking supplies. Like that's construction.
Unless you build,
unless
you hire,
unless you
have the workers at Home Depot.
Yeah,
and they're going to get it. They're going to get it done.
Well, that's the thing. That's why they won't do the infrastructure because they're like the private industry.
Yes.
Can do the same thing for cheaper.
I'm just telling you
because they're going to underpay people.
The thing is, I'm not saying it's a bad thing because that money that those workers fucking kind of bilk from the fucking government goes right back into the economy.
Yeah.
And fucking helps out. So just let it happen. But people don't want to let it happen because they think, well, fuck them. They're fucking trying to cheat. Meanwhile, fucking everyone else is cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, what's more patriotic? Because I don't want to say nationalistic, but than saying like, hey, I'm going to do well by the citizenry and give them opportunities to come up. Instead of saying, like you're saying, kind of looking down, kind of that's what you're saying, right?
Generally people, they bitch about people. Like, you don't want to see someone fucking getting one over on the system if you can't also get over on the system.
It's like,
you're like, how the fuck? Oh, this motherfucker's getting paid $12 an hour to fucking stand there and not do shit.
Or I saw him walking into
but the job's getting done, and that money he's gonna go into the fucking store and spend it on a fucking shitload of beer, and that shit's just gonna get spent right back through the system.
It's that's the thing that I loved about seeing that person go in there and buying stuff on
that
food
I'm not
stand.
getting.
Yeah, and then leaving in that Cadillac. You don't know if they overpaid for that Cadillac or that somebody in their family's Cadillac.
Some Cadillacs aren't that nice.
No, what I'm trying to say is something that's expensive.
Yeah,
those people don't seem to need it. You know what I mean? But what do you care?
No,
if 80% of the people within this program are getting it, and 20% are cheating the system, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, that's the problem. Is the people that we have in government that are supposed to create jobs for infrastructure are also people that are being paid for by private companies. So the private companies are like,
well, they end up retiring and working for them.
Don't make Caltrans any bigger. We have companies that can do it for them, and we can do it cheaper. That's why. That's what it is. That's honestly what's going on. Yeah. We haven't built the fucking dam in how long? We haven't done anything big.
God damn.
Yeah, we haven't done our power grid. They want to switch all these cars to electric. Our power grid won't be able to sustain
You're
them.
still burning a lot of You're still burning a lot of fossil fuels if you still for those electric cars.
We need to build nuclear.
I've heard that.
It's really good.
But I've heard that also.
No, nuclear cars.
Yeah,
like in fucking Back to the Future 2.
Or Fallout. Remember the game Fallout?
Back to the Future 2 was first, asshole.
All right.
Shit. I mean, there's probably Jetsons. They probably use nuclear cars too. I don't know.
Decommissioned the one out there.
The San Onofre?
Yeah.
That was the last one, no?
In California?
No, but it still has a lot of fucking waste there.
Yeah. Well, see, that's
like it's got some bad shit there.
Yeah.
They're saying
no, but that's not the problem. That shit's fucking not going anywhere. We don't fucking have to worry about it.
How much of it?
Containment is not that much.
There's a lot of it. There's a lot of it
for a fucking modern nuclear plant. Containment is very fucking small. There's barely any fucking space. Something that a factory can easily fucking
shit to the moon.
Oh, we could try to fly it up into space, and then maybe a Challenger sort of shit happens, and fucking spreads it over.
That's very true. That's very true. That's why we should build the elevator to space.
Space elevators.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then God will strike it down.
Just take it, fucking lock it away. The modern fucking systems are way better than back in the days. This is not 3 Mile Island shit. This isn't fucking Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chuck. This isn't Chernobyl. Chuck.
It's been. I mean, Chernobyl was what, 40 years ago? Almost 40 years ago.
In the 80s.
So I mean,
when was 3 Mile Island? In the 80s also.
Also in the 80s, I think it was.
No, you know what? It might have been 70s. No, I'm talking about Chernobyl. Might have been in the 70s.
No, Chernobyl was in the 80s for sure.
Okay, well then 3 Mile Island was before that.
I don't remember.
3 Mile Island.
I was a kid.
Yeah, 3 Mile Island was.
I know I was alive for Chernobyl. I don't remember fucking 3 Mile Island.
Yeah, because they didn't really come out of the news, and it was pretty bad.
No,
when I was a kid, I don't remember 3 Mile Island happening. I remember Chernobyl happening.
Yeah, you know what?
There's still one going on now, Fukushima. It's still not controlled.
Yeah.
All they're doing is just pumping seawater, and they're just making radioactive seawater. That's all they're doing.
Kind of.
That's what they're doing.
I mean,
it's not kind of.
Yeah, there's.
They're not containing the water.
But you make it sound worse than it didn't.
It's
actually
pretty bad.
Is it?
Yes.
Can you give us numbers on it?
I don't know.
Well, just because I can't give you. Yeah, can you quote? No.
Hey, just say some numbers, and Carl might not.
Just say some numbers.
7 parts per thousand.
That's 7 parts per thousand. Is that in the irradiated area? Or
that's the part that's getting irradiated.
No, but like for the most part, if they build a couple of them,
but they can't stop it. You see what I'm
They
saying?
can't stop what?
It won't stop. They can't stop.
Not until you have enough.
Dude, they can't control it.
Different
It's still a meltdown. It's still a fucking ongoing crisis.
What was the last time they had a meltdown?
Fukushima.
Oh,
Was it?
That was a fucking.
It wasn't a
that wasn't a
meltdown.
meltdown.
Yeah.
There was a fucking tsunami that fucking came in and fucked some shit up. Well, in Arizona, you don't have any risk of tsunami.
Well, no, there's one out there.
Yes,
think.
but that's not the point.
Unless it's a hell of a goddamn
There's
tsunami.
There's one, I think, in the Palo Verde area or city, but
Yeah.
that on the Arizonas.
Yeah, but if we scatter them mid-country, so we avoid the tsunami
There's a lot of open space.
we would
in this
not
country.
have a Fukushima here. We'd be fine.
I just don't think having waste.
It's
That's
not
got a
that
whole
much.
half-life of.
Look,
Of
the
billions
problem
of
would be
years.
Yes.
the problem
Yeah,
would be
it's fine.
it would be
That's the
containment
thing.
of
It's not that much.
How much waste would it produce?
Over like 100 years now, it's not too bad.
Okay, the type of nuclear power we have now, would we be able
It's
to
a lot
sustain
better
it?
than before. You're still thinking of like the Silent Spring fucking bullshit. Fucking like oh my god. Her book was kind of bullshit.
It was. It's a low.
You read that
It's also
book,
a
right?
low percentage of when nuclear power has
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not saying it's a great fucking thing. I'm saying it's a lot better
I think
what
it's better
than-
than what we have the other
than,
we have
than
enough-
coal,
Right,
than
cool,
fucking
we're trying to-
burning coal.
Well, go tell those fucking people, those fucking senators trying to keep those
Yeah,
coal plants
because they
open.
live in fucking coal country.
Yeah.
They have to
That-
keep those open because they won't get
Turk
fucking
their
elected otherwise.
jobs.
Yeah.
But, fuck it. Close them. I don't give a shit about them.
Put something else up there.
Yeah. They were nice mountains, and now all of a sudden they're not nice mountains. They're coal fucking valleys. So, yeah. Fuck them. You're only fucking over, for the next, one generation was going to bitch about it. The next generation would be like, yeah, but then I got the job over at the nuclear plant. And,
Or at the fucking wind-
granddad's always bitching about the fucking shit,
Carl.
but, it's paying my bills, so I'm okay.
Carl, how much could we sustain your? What is it? Mainly uranium, cobalt? What do we
I
use?
don't know.
No, I mean, yeah. Okay, well, how
Yeah,
long can we
fucking
sustain?
Shit.
Fine, Carl. How long can we sustain nuclear
Fucking
power?
probably thousands of years.
Really? We
Yeah,
have
long
enough material?
long enough to where pretty much
Well, maybe
the human race will kill itself long before we
yeah,
run out
the
of that
nuclear
shit. We'll be fine.
No, what they're trying to figure out.
They're
what
trying
is
to
it?
do the cold fusion.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did
We're
it.
doing
They
fission.
kind of
Well,
did it,
yes, but
but
at such a tiny
maintaining
level.
it.
Yeah.
They could do it for short amounts of time,
And
but maintaining it
But
for
remember,
days at a time.
Dude, that was
The
like
fact
thing.
that they did it is
that
the
was
beginning.
that was high school where they were talking about
Yeah.
if you could do this, it's fucking amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah, and they're working on it. They've been working on it for a long
And
time.
yeah, but they actually did it.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
such a
hopefully
minute scale.
they'll really fucking get
Yeah.
it in.
The good thing
In the
is,
meantime, let's fucking jump on the fucking old school bandwagon.
Let's
and
go fusion.
do
instead of
regular
fusion.
yeah.
if we could.
No, fission instead of fusion.
Fusion. Yeah.
Fission is where you're breaking up the big stuff and making energy and making radioactive stuff.
Yeah,
The
that's
other
what
one
we're
they're
doing
Fusion
making
is
it
where you're
one.
making
That's,
the
the
We're making
water.
it
that's
one.
what we're trying to do now.
Oh yeah, I swapped them over.
Yeah, fission.
Yeah.
Fission.
It's that UI thing, it's in
Well,
there.
fusing.
Yeah. It's confusing.
It's confusion.
No, they're getting better at taking
Look,
gathering power from wind
When did we go
farms
back
and
to-
Yeah, I like wind farms too.
and solar panels.
There are a lot of issues with wind farms because
you're gonna kill a lot of birds.
no, not the birds. The wind farms, the
weather
machines
itself?
themselves.
I'm sorry,
when they have to swap out those blades and all that shit. There's not really very much you could do with those blades. They're huge fucking things, and they're it's a lot. There's a lot of waste on the end run of those fucking things, but it's still not that bad. I like wind farms. That's
wind farms, and they've gotten better.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
they're ugly. Sure, I give you that.
But they're on.
But
the
only
They
in
don't,
certain areas.
they don't give you fucking cancer like fucking Trump said. Remember when we went to Palm Springs? He's like, yeah, this wind farm.
Everything can give you cancer.
Yeah.
Nah, fucking wind farms.
They could. It's a mutation, basically.
Ear
cancer.
cancer. No, I don't know.
I mean, either. I'm just
No,
talking
yeah,
on
it
that.
does-
It's a
yeah,
mutation, so
You're
anybody
so
can get
getting out
it,
of
and
your
maybe not out of
fucking-
those reasons.
You're out of your
itself.
element,
You're out of your element.
Yeah, your elements.
Hey, come on! I know some stuff. Man.
I know you do.
I know some stuff.
I don't know any stuff. I'm just going.
No, this is the wind farm guy.
I'd be the dumb. I'll give you that.
Fellas.
I'd be the dumb.
This man's been around more power poles than anyone I know.
Have you ever dug so many holes on a power pole?
He's been at the base of so many
I
shafts.
just drill those
I'm
holes
with you
all
fellers.
day.
Yeah, because they're trying to make it. He's the
I'm with
deciding
you,
vote.
yeah.
He's the deciding vote.
It's the forget
brother. Mm-hmm. And he's like, they're like, what do you think, this or this? He's like, I'm with you, fellas. That's it.
Oh, not the cattle.
George,
not the cattle. Hand me that chopper.
But I think right now we're going to go into, I feel like we're going to go into not really a war of attrition, but right now it's going to be supply side versus consumer versus consumer.
You know what it is?
Damn it, I didn't take economics.
The thing is,
the supply side.
I know what they are. I know what they are.
With these people,
who controls the power? Who has the power? The consumer or the producer? And that's, or not even the producer. It's the. Can't even call the producer. It's the.
Well, because the producer was a play.
As I've heard, a great lyric was, "Fuck the G ride. I want the machines that are making them." That's a great lyric. Yeah, I'd rather the means of production should go to the fucking citizenry, if you will. You can still have private ownership of certain things.
You can't stop being the communist.
No, socialist, Carl. Communism, I don't think could ever come to fruition.
Neither is socialism.
No, but it has nothing to do with
socialism. Is
none of them can work.
We're working within some socialism in this country.
Like everything would work if I were in charge, but
forgot about that.
Well, no, that's the
forgot I was talking to Carl.
The totalitarianism.
Remember, we were talking about that last time
really
too,
works.
because
no, you'd be more oligarchy. You'd hang out with people.
Yeah, but they wouldn't really have any real power.
But remember,
no, that's what I'm saying. Though I mean, you'd come in and their court.
It's an oligarchy like esque.
Ish.
Autocracy. What are you talking about?
Dude, it's the thing we were talking about. Like, of course, some certain people think they're better. Like, they'll pull you up for your bootstraps and all that.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
It makes sense because they think they're the ones.
It's like Monopoly. Monopoly came out as an anti-capitalist goddamn game.
It's like the people that push eugenics. The people that were pushing eugenics. They're not saying,
wait. Eugenics are bad.
They're not saying like, oh, you know.
It's a possibility.
No. Listen.
No.
Or the ones that were pushing, like Hitler, when he was talking about the powerful race, it was his race he was thinking was the most powerful.
He wasn't
like, hey guys, look, the African race is the one that's most powerful. We are the one that because everybody that comes up with these ideas where this is the way to go, it's them that are there that they see themselves in charge of.
It was I remember. I don't know if you guys ever remember.
Eugenics.
If you guys remember Linnaeus, they did the classification system for biology and stuff. It's set up like that's why you have like a species name and it's like species, kingdom, and like all that shit. We're Homo sapiens, like there's one thing and then another. That's that whole classification system. He also tried to classify humans, and it was a whole fucking thing where that's where it wasn't him that came up with like Caucasians and like all that stuff, but it was based on. They saw what he did and they're like, so we're also going to break up the humans, so the Caucasians, the Mongolians, and the fucking and they just kind of went all these groups and all this shit.
What I love is the people.
It's fun racism to read about because it's just like you're reading it, you're like they're really reaching. They're reaching so hard and trying to make this work, trying to make it scientific.
Yeah, sciencey. Well,
but it's always it was pretty much like in his classification system, or I think it was Bilderberg or something like that. But it was always there was the white man on the top, Caucasians, based on the fact that the guy when he was touring Europe, he noticed that the women in the Caucasus were the beautifulest ones of all the other countries. So Caucasian is Caucasian, like from the Caucasian mountains and all that shit. But so he put them in the top, and then like on left and right, like wings and stuff coming on lower levels. The other races,
because that's what he was into. That was his girls.
But like it was, it's fun to read it because you're like, man, they worked so hard to make this like This is solid science foundations. It's great stuff.
What's what I'm telling you, dude? Like, everybody thinks like
it's too hard because you start with the goddamn like, oh, I can prove this. So you work hard to try and prove it,
one
even
thing.
in your own. What is it?
You make
not cognitive dissonance,
presupposed.
your position.
It's not a cognitive dissonance.
It's not cognitive dissonance. It's fucking. You're working.
It's like it's a bias.
Foregone conclusion sort of thing.
Yeah, but there's an actual term. I just can't remember it. But basically,
it's a bias, no?
Yeah, but
yeah. Well, you're working towards the conclusion that you were expecting.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and it happens a lot.
And you're only going to see that conclusion.
Yeah, it's redundant, bro. No, that happens a lot with those people as they start looking for that without actually.
What do you mean those people?
Yeah, those people.
Yeah,
the people that
Carl's
people
right here. What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, man!
People that fall into that mindset.
We're gonna have to have like some.
Yeah, you know what? Y'all right. I should
talk to HR.
Y'all right. I shouldn't talk as much.
We should have a fucking.
I shouldn't talk as much.
Yeah, what the hell was that? Oh,
like I don't know.
I'm sorry, Carl. I apologize.
See,
I feel attacked.
That's why I'm saying let me finish my thought because then I forget at all what I was talking about, and right next sentence I could totally be contradicting myself, and I didn't. With such a passion too. I would have argued both sides, and I wouldn't even remember that. But I'd be like, exactly what we were talking about. Dude, exactly, I fall down that rabbit hole.
I remember George and David Lee fucking arguing both sides of the same fucking argument, and just swapping between the two, and neither one of them actually had a point. And they were just arguing to argue, like neither one of them had a side. It was just like, yeah, Chuck was there too, but like those guys, they put a lot of work into their shit, and it was awful. And like sitting there, just like, God damn. Shut the fuck up.
The thing is, I've always found if you're not willing to admit that you may be wrong, or you're not willing to take,
you're fucking wrong.
No, those people take such a leap. No, right. When you take such a leap on certain stuff, and especially with this, it's politics. So there is no real true side answer. You know what I mean?
No one has the actual full story.
Exactly.
No one's fucking.
Yeah. So this is always going to be opinions, really, or views that aren't
hearsay.
Yes.
And fucking.
Yes. Things that you've been like that. You push yourself to that because that's what you agree with. So yeah, it's gonna get. It's really pointless to really talk about it. It's chatter. It's wanting to get riled up for the day or whatever you want to call it. Because I'll admit to that. I love talking about that shit. But it's whatever my opinion on it is nothing. Yeah. Well, it might be shit. It might be shit, and that's the whole point that I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. People will defend those without even wanting to try and put any effort of seeing where they're coming from.
But look, we're
you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it's so ridiculous that you aren't gonna even fucking go that way.
We're like amateur sportscasters here, but with politics, bro. There's nothing wrong with it.
Wait,
my name's Cassius.
We talk about politics? Shit.
What's
I was here for the Tolkien stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of, it is time for Carl's Tolkien moment.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Down Tolkien Lane.
Okay.
What do you got, Carl?
All right. I've talked before about the fucking Silmarillion. It's like it's a book that has a lot of names and fucking like stuff, words that like it drags at parts. It's got a lot of good stuff in there, but a lot like there's a lot of fucking like, God damn, man, shit. It's a book that needs fucking like some parts punched up a little bit.
It's like when you're shooting porn, and most of it is just the fluffers.
Yeah, but in that book, like you're like, man, I wish there was something really exciting to go on, and he only mentions like really cool stuff that's going on in the background, and then you never fucking get the full story. And there's a whole scene in the book that, well, in the extended ones that I'm reading now, that where like there's a thing called there's a city called Gondolin, It's a fucking. It was kind of like a holdout that Melkor couldn't get to.
Say that name again?
Gondolin.
Okay.
And so Melkor couldn't get to it, but like they were living there, and they were kind of like on the edge of his fucking domain, and so like he wanted to get there, but he didn't know where it was. A whole fucking thing, and in the Silmarillion, it's just like, oh, he got there and he destroyed it, and that's it. That's it. Fucking end of story. So and so was there. They took off. Whatever. Like 2 paragraphs. In the fucking extended one, it's like this crazy battle going on, and they're fucking like the orc army is coming from this side, and there's Balrogs coming from this side, and so fucking comes over here and fucking kills the fucking the leader of the fucking Balrogs, and fucking like all this shit. There's a fucking elf. His name was Rog. He was the leader of a fucking one of the houses in fucking Gondolin, right? He fucking does this whole fucking speech where he hypes up his fucking. They were the armorers, the fucking smiths, and the fucking all this shit. He hypes them up and fucking gets them like fucking battle ready and fucking sends them off to fucking fight. And fucking they go against a group of Balrogs, like fucking 50 or 60, like Balrogs? Yeah, and they fucking slayed a shitload of them. Up to this point, this is the first time Balrogs ever died at all. They were fucking essentially they were Maiar from the beginning of fucking time, fucking brought here. The first time, fucking Morgoth's like, what the fuck? No one's ever killed one before. So he and his men fucking killed a shitload of them. As they're fucking dying, they're because they're outnumbered, fucking 20-1. But they're all into it. It was a whole fucking badass battle, cool shit. Fucking so other guys fucking do similar shit. Fucking this guy over here does some fucking badass shit. Fucking the head of the fucking Balrogs is fucking killed. Fucking like all this shit goes on, and then they cut that. And just left it as 2 paragraphs describing, this shit happened. Fucking the city was sacked. These people escaped. They fucking caught all this cool shit from a book, that legitimately needed.
Long-winded.
It needed.
So they cut it.
It's not a long book.
They cut the action.
Well, maybe
they cut out the action
maybe
scene.
It was like a version, like when they do comic books.
Yeah.
You have to buy the different,
the
different
extended version.
Yeah.
Extended edition.
Yeah, it's not a Silver Surfer with the Fantastic Four.
Maybe the editor was an asshole. He's like, let's just leave all this long-winded, random shit in it, and then when it's just like the magic, let's just
They spent like a fucking entire chapter describing areas and going to the south is so and so. To the west of this is so-and-so. And just naming fucking lakes and rivers and mountain ranges and fucking like shit like that.
You wanted to know
and then
what you're
for like cool shit, they're like, nah, let's just fucking summarize that as fast as we can.
Just stick to the fucking naming.
Dude, it's fucking... Shit. So like, if ever there was a book that needed some fucking...
Some Balrog killing.
Some fucking battles, some fucking badass shit.
And there's like, no, it's too good. Get that shit out.
Gotta fucking
summarize it. Just he went.
Yeah.
He
so
got it.
If you're gonna read the Silmarillion, also read the Fall of Gondolin. Just to fucking like when you get to that point, when you skip over those 2 fucking paragraphs, read the Fall of Gondolin, and then continue on. Yeah.
Yeah, because so. I'm not I didn't read any of the Tolkien because I couldn't get into the fucking scene part.
You probably read the movies.
So the Balrog is the one that he fights, right?
Balrog, Gandalf
fights.
Yeah.
So everybody gets the idea, just in case they've never...
The thing is, like, with the Balrogs and Gandalf, like, they're, like, the same class of being. They're, like, I said that the Balrogs they're all Maiar from early on, right? Well, there's the gods, the god people. Oh, there's the main god, the lower gods that created fucking a bunch of stuff. Then there's these Maiars that were like helpers, and so helpers are like the main followers of Morgoth. So like Sauron and fucking the Balrogs and all that shit, and also the wizards and so like they're all at the same level of being, you know. So like the only one who could have taken on that Balrog is Gandalf. Of those people. The humans couldn't.
And that's
do
what
it.
he knew. It was like a fucking.
He was like, "No, this enemy is beyond us."
Yeah.
You know, the only one who could slow it down is this guy.
Yeah, that's what he's like.
And so he's fucking like, yeah.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, so it's a whole fucking thing.
And the Balrog's like, bro, we're like the same fucking level. You're not my boss.
Yeah, which is like another kind of a weird like side thing on that is that like he also wrote a bunch of stuff about like dragons and fucking like all this stuff, and like whenever like there was a major dragon in the fucking stories, they were almost always killed by regular dudes. So the fucking Smaug in the fucking Hobbit and shit is killed by fucking what's his name? I don't remember his name because it's been a long time since I read that book. But he was just a regular human. Before that, like fucking the original dragon was also killed by just some guy. Not just some guy. He was an important ass dude, but like it was still a regular human. The largest dragon in the whole fucking Legendarium and shit, this thing called Ancalagon the Black. It fucking it was like when it fell to the ground, it like took out mountain ranges. It was a big fucking dragon, killed by a dude in a flying boat. But it was just fucking so there's this weird fucking power where there's like a wobble. A human couldn't take on a Balrog, but they could take on the giant fucking dragons and fucking win.
Them the rules, bro.
Tolkien. Them's the rules. He fucking set them down in stone, and damn it, that's the way they are. So anyway, that's my thing about fucking. They should rewrite the fucking Silmarillion
and put that shit back in.
And fucking put that back in. There's a couple of things they could put back in.
And there's a lot of shit they could take out.
There's a lot of shit they could take out.
A lot of songs.
And leave that on the side stuff.
Those should be the
So would it be like an encyclopedia when you get all the books together, kind of, or would it be
is kind of like because the set that I bought.
There's another word that I should.
A collection of all this stuff.
Or whatever it's called, some shit like that.
No, it's a different word, but whatever. It seems would be like it's an encyclopedia.
But yeah, because the collection I bought is like the first book is all of the stuff that's related to just the Silmarillion, and so it's like a lot of like just stuff that he wrote, hey, here's this story, side stories that don't really work, or some of them that honestly sound fucking intriguing and they should have worked, and they kind of came back at the end and said like, damn, that would have been rad, but they didn't fucking stick with it, and it was just.
Do you think
stuff.
he had a bad editor for?
No, not at all. I just think that fucking he was always rewriting his own stuff.
Oh.
Just like he'd come up with an idea, instead of Frodo, he had Bingo.
Yeah.
Eventually, he
Trotter.
and Trotter and shit like that. Good on you to fucking remember that shit.
Yeah,
but
I'm not gonna forget that shit.
Yeah.
Bingo and Trotter, they're the ones that saved the land.
Aragorn was one of the possible names for the horse.
Yeah.
For Gandalf's horse.
Gandalf.
Instead of Shadowfax. Yeah.
No, but it's not a horse name.
No.
This guy.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna be Aragorn.
Yeah, but still, fucking read the books.
Great shit.
They're great books, or at least read the Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna have to give it another shot.
Or just watch the movies. Fuck it. Watch only the Lord of the Rings movie, and the Battle of Five Armies. Just watch the battle from The Hobbit, and then the Lord of the Rings movie.
The first one, Fellowship.
All of them.
All the three.
Jeez. Put in a good 15 hours of watching. I don't. No, I think it's like 13 and something hours
I remember when
to watch the whole series.
I remember when we went to go see The Lord of the Rings. We went to the movie theater. And I remember, because I hadn't read the books, I just remember they get on the fucking boat and the movie's over. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? This is fucking trash. Nothing happened. All this shit happened and nothing happened. And of course, oh yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
It's also because you fell asleep halfway.
Yeah, it was fucking... But then when they did Dune Part 1, of course everybody was like, what the fuck is it?
It's all
And I was like, bro, that's like half of book 1.
Yeah. That's another one. There's like, I don't know how many books there are for the Dune series. It's like a dozen or something like that.
5 or 6.
It's a shitload.
Are you talking about the ones he wrote or the ones his son wrote?
All of that.
The entire series.
Oh, there's a shit.
Yeah, there's like...
Because with Tolkien...
he went back.
With Tolkien, it's also like, he wrote most of it, and then Christopher, his son, came in and fucking like got together his shit and fucking like put stuff out.
Oh shit!
So like it's kind of similar idea.
But you think it's the same style, or you think it's
because he was writing the books for his kids essentially. He was trying to make a fucking like a mythology for England, like just kind of like here's a thing, boom, throw it out there,
check it out,
and then like but it was always written to his kids, and they were like.
You think Frank Herbert's like that? You think Frank Herbert's like that with his kid?
I wasn't.
Brian Herbert.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening. I was trying to come up. I was trying to think about the names of all the books. I didn't listen. I'm sorry. I wasn't.
Dune for
because
Tolkien. I never read those.
Tolkien had his kid. Tolkien's kid is writing them, and Carl says because Tolkien wrote them for his kids and his kids read them, he can actually his kids like in tune with the whole realm.
First person knowledge.
Yeah.
I get you.
But I don't think Frank Herbert did that with his kid.
I don't think so either.
I haven't read anything of the Brian Herbert shit. I haven't.
I haven't either.
Because he fucking whenever he did the Butlerian Jihad.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't have done that.
Did you read all the Frank Herbert ones?
I got 3 out of the 6.
I've heard that they get like all political at the end, where it's just kind of like it's more not as fun.
It's not necessary.
Well, it's because, dude, the first book
was amazing. Philosophical.
Dune, the first Dune was just fucking... I love the book.
Basically, the idea of it is that the hero isn't really a hero. People will turn out and do stuff that they run with the idea of whatever they just...
What they believe in.
Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily a good thing, but it got so aggrandized. Not aggrandized, but... Yeah, it just took off so much that it was that chain of like tell it to somebody and by the end it's not going to be. Excuse me.
Telegraph.
Yeah. Is that
telephone?
Telephone. That was the game.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah, because the telegraph would be too. Long.
I mean, Dostoevsky had similar fucking things in his things where it's like everyone essentially, all of them, like if from their own perspective, what they're doing is right. Like they might be the asshole in the story, but they're the right guy.
But
they're just living the world that they're fucking in. It's not nice, and so like the guys that are fucking people over are fucking still just trying to live.
Yeah, they're just
and
do their own thing,
Well, he's trying to say that this God Emperor, basically, these people just took off and started just the myth of them, because nobody's really going down to this planet and see they fucking spread all over the different galaxies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Diaspora.
I can't remember if that's even right.
Well, it's for the spread amongst people spread out.
No, I was trying to think of a character name then. I didn't really hear the word. But it's basically that power. Even if that person in power is trying to stay in power, if this spreads, it might get that. It might get to where it just gets
too big.
Somewhat, but it gets retold so many times that people start inserting things in
the legend grows.
Yes,
so it becomes changes and shit.
It becomes
you don't know what's real and true and fucking it's a mythology.
And this thing, he's really the people think the Messiah or whatever he's the God Emperor.
Muad'Dib.
Oh
no, you're thinking of
you're talking about Leto the Second, right?
Yes. The God Emperor,
Leto the Second, right?
Yeah.
Or the Fourth?
No, he was
or the Fourth.
I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read him.
We gotta read him.
Well, also Herbert was an ecologist, it's not ecologist.
No, the ones that's into nature.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I can't remember the name.
Naturalist.
Naturalist. Yeah, that's a better. That's a good word for it, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, but
ecologist or whatever. Naturalist, yeah, it's a good word. But he was basically playing that with that whole idea of that, and even if you notice he plays a lot with Buddhism in there, and he plays a lot with like
Islam,
yes, and a lot with Islam.
I've never, like I said, I never.
No, that's the first couple of words that I learned that were straight up like jihad.
Yeah.
I learned it from that book. I didn't learn about like jihad. I learned that in like 99. Who the fuck knows? But it was later. I read that book when I was like 14, 15.
You were in fucking high school. You didn't know jihad in high school? The word?
I don't think so.
Shit.
What it meant? I don't think so.
He had to. We all did.
Well,
that was during Iran. That was the whole. That's what during Iraq. That was jihad was.
You know what? I might have social studies when we were reading about
you might
the
have heard
Arabs.
something.
Because like the
Okay, well, it might be.
Or the children's fucking jihad and all that shit. And,
well, that might be mistaken about where I picked up the word, but when he started using that, even the Muad'Dib, you know, the
name.
Whatever.
His name is a weapon.
In my head, that's how I hear it.
No.
Names.
It's because there's two different. Remember, Muad'Dib is that's the little desert rat. That's what he calls himself. The Mahdi is the actual what they call him as the leader.
I thought they were different. Like I said,
it's not the same name.
I remember most of what the story.
I only know it from the movies.
Yeah, because the people in the siege called him Muad'Dib.
Yes, that was his name.
Yeah,
that's what I meant.
And so when people come talk to him, he was the Mahdi. He was the guy that they were supposed to lead. He was the. That's who they started seeing as. He's like, no.
Oh, he's playing with the idea of like.
Of course,
it's with the populi. You know what I mean? It gets beyond that. You can't control something like.
One of the other things I thought about going back to Herbert and his son.
But he also, he was also talking about an environment because of the way with the desert planet and blah blah blah. Sorry. Go ahead.
The reason is because like the Butlerian Jihad, he made it into one book. The Butlerian Jihad was like a big fucking thing.
Yeah, we were going up against
kill robots.
Everything. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, anything.
Artificial intelligence. Anything beyond that.
And so he did it in one book. Why the fuck wouldn't you make it into 3?
Yeah.
If he was a smart writer, that would have been 3 fucking.
The series.
It's huge.
And there's a long time between Dune and the Butlerian Jihad.
Yeah.
That's all. Big old time.
It's different than me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. You're saying you're.
In my head, when I was
Butlerian, because it just sounds funny, but.
When in my head, I heard Butlerian.
Yeah, how did you say it?
Yeah. Butlerian.
Yeah.
That's
because I hear you say Butlerian.
Yeah.
And I know that that's also the name of in Tolkien. Balerion is the land that Morgoth came into, that was eventually sunk.
Like 3
before Middle Earth came in.
Like Mexico City, it's about 3 centimeters.
No, it was it was totally sunk.
Dude. But we're like 3 fucking major nerds talking about,
Dune and Tolkien,
and we're working our fucking inner nerddom into.
That's what we do. We started with what, gentlemen?
We started with the fucking debt ceiling.
Oh no. Derek was in here earlier, but yeah, the debt ceiling is. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
And we didn't even talk about fucking DeSantis, which his fucking white boots.
Are you trying to change the subject from fucking Dune?
No.
Is that what you're trying to do?
He's going with Tolkien, but I'm either way.
Do you think DeSantis read Dune?
No.
Shit, you think he read any Tolkien either?
He probably only read the latest books, like the ones that are the shitty ones.
Frank.
I don't even know if they're shitty.
I don't know.
Brian is.
I've heard like what I said. Like I've only heard about the way the books start out kind of like fun and it's like they're revolutionaries and shit, and then later on it just becomes we're established power and we're trying to maintain the status quo. So it's less fun.
Yeah,
and they talk about Senate rules.
That's what happens.
That's what I was trying to say. But he's also going at it between the.
That's what happened to what?
Ben and
That's what happened to Paul.
Paul Atreides.
He walks away from that. He walks away from that because he didn't want to become that. That spreads that out.
Because that's
the anti-hero thing.
Yeah, he pulled it in so much that he's like, "Fuck, I'm becoming what I don't want to be."
He's playing with that idea that has been talked about before that. Of the whole hero is not really the hero; it's what he's driven to do.
I remember I had a professor tell me about fucking the idea of anti-hero. Was people think, it's that fucking bad boy fucking hero. He's an asshole, but he always does what's right and shit like that. But he isn't. The fucking like what she said. She's like the classic anti-hero is Biff Loman from fucking from Death of a Salesman. There's a guy who fucking you root for him, but honestly, there's nothing really redeeming. There's nothing fucking great about him, but you still go for the guy because you're just come on, you're the fucking you're the one. And, but they're
wait, I was thinking I didn't use it, but I think I did.
Anti-hero?
Yeah, I don't think... If you're saying that, I think I might have misused it then.
Yeah, no, just, this is... I've only heard it just from that one professor. But we don't talk anti-heroes very much in fucking regular classes. But, I remember saying that, and I was like, all right, I get that.
I miss school, actually, all this talk about
take the class.
I should take some fucking...
Carl's been telling me, and I'm told
For a
he's
long
absolutely
time.
right.
Yeah. Any last words, gentlemen? Carl, what do you got?
A last word?
Yeah, or any word. It doesn't have to be just one word. You know what I mean? Your little thoughts. Like Jerry Springer. Do your Jerry Springer.
Oh, shit, I couldn't.
Final thoughts.
He was pretty well spoken.
Yeah, he was actually really good.
yeah.
At the end, he put all that shit together, and it was nice.
Yeah.
Are we really beating each other up, or are we just trying to help us?
As far as a last word and shit, I was reading an article about the fucking the spelling bee, just fucking happened recently and shit, the big major one.
The national.
And yeah, the kid won, I think his last word was samophile, which I think is a word I've never heard it, and it's a biological term for an animal that lives in sandy areas. It's got a silent P in the front. PSAMMO. File. Yeah.
And file what? PHI?
That's something that, it's file.
Phylum.
It's something that, someone who likes that.
Yeah, like an
I don't know what that fucking, that root is.
Okay.
PSAMMO. I have no idea what that root is. I didn't look up the etymology because I was like, it's fine. I'm never going to use the word in polite conversation.
Yeah.
Because
careful with that samophile.
Oh, that's samophile over there. What the fuck? Yeah. It's assholes that fucking do that shit. But so
that would be funny.
But yeah, so that's my word.
I usually do that kind of
that's
shit.
My last word.
And push my
samophile.
As you're looking up, that means an animal that fucking lives in sand, right? Right? As you're pushing your glasses up.
That's what Beetlejuice called.
Yeah, Carl comes over to me and is like, really?
Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah. Bro, I can hear it across the room.
Beetlejuice called the sandworms. He called them samophile.
Yeah, Chuck's doing it again, bro.
Yes. But yeah, that's my final word. Samophile.
I need to start remembering what I said 3.
You said sack butt 2 fucking times.
I didn't
already.
say sack butt.
Did
I said I'm trying. What I'm trying. Let me say what I need to say.
No, not today.
Yeah, I want to be able to remember what I just said 3 sentences ago because it's very easy.
It's the pot.
No, it's not the fucking pot.
It's us interrupting you.
No, not necessarily. But whatever. See, I forgot about that. So. That's my last word.
Fuck you.
No, it just happens a lot, and
it's
probably age. It's probably age.
Because I've been trying to push this idea in my head to you guys about eugenics and how it's bullshit. Because whoever
wait, are you trying to convince us that it's a bad thing?
Yeah. You going there?
Holy shit!
You're going there?
You know what? Fucking.
But sort of
if that's what you're fucking trying to push. I'll follow that. That's fine.
Let me tell you something.
I'll agree.
Let me tell you something about Dr. Kellogg.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Dr. Kellogg. Well, I don't even know if it was
Dr. Kellogg. He had some weird ideas about fucking
about
health and shit.
That's a great movie.
He probably was a fucking real doctor. Because back in the days,
anybody could be.
That's true.
Well, no, he was probably a crazy smart guy, but he also had some weird fucking ideas. And
remember
hey, you know what? That's fine. I like the series.
Dana Carvey,
you
bro.
Remember Road to Welcome?
I do remember that shit. It was fucking fun.
So
Dana Carvey, when he was a child.
George! Yeah.
And he doesn't give up. He goes, oh yeah? And he walks up and down them stairs. And the look in that man's eye.
He's giving him fucking coffee, honey, enemas and shit.
But I don't remember them being fucking... But he
wasn't
pushing
chemical shit.
Oh, he was pushing for fucking not nutting. I think that was a thing that he did.
Well, in Road to Welcome, that's kind of what he's dealing with.
Yeah, I remember because Broderick ends up hooking up with that girl that looks really sick.
Were those your last words?
Yes, that's it.
Carl, I think I interrupted you.
Good. Yeah.
No, not at all.
You interrupted me. You guys both.
I don't fucking care about you.
Till next time.